Hello everyone, this is Christian and you are welcome back to the Don't Have channel. So today we are going to continue our series with the backend development with Node.js. So previously we've tackled the introduction to Node.js and then node models, right? So in this video we are going to tackle NPM, which is Node Package Manager. We're going to talk about what it is, some benefits it comes along and other stuff, okay? And this video I'm going to start with presentation and then move on to implementation, okay? So for this and more, let's dive into it. Alright, so the first question that comes in mind is what is NPM? It basically stands for Node Package Manager, okay? And it's a default package manager for Node.js. It has two purposes. The first one is it serves as online repository for publishing open source Node.js projects, okay? So what it basically means is when you have a code or you've implemented a code, okay, you've written a code and you would like other developers to use it, you can push it there, okay? You can push it there or you can upload it there. Then other developers can quickly download it and then use it in their projects, okay? That is what it basically means. And then the second line or the second point is it serves as a command line tool for managing dependencies, okay? So once you've upload your libraries there, now you can use the command line operation or tool to download these libraries or packages into your project, and then you can install the packages there. You can update their versionings and all of that, okay? So that is basically what NPM is about. It's about creating a place where developers can push and download codes, okay, and use it in their project. Now it comes with some benefits, okay? So the first one is it gives easy installation and management of libraries, okay? So once somebody uploads or somebody push his or her project codes or whatever libraries to NPM, you can easily install them, and then it will help you to manage their libraries as well in terms of the versioning and all of that. The next one is dependency management through the package.json. So once the libraries are installed, their names and versions are saved in the package.json. So with NPM, you can look at the packages names and also install them in your project. What I basically means is, let's say you've cloned a project, and then with the project it comes along with the package.json, okay? So now the NPM will look at the package.json, the dependencies there, and then there are various versionings, and it's gonna help you install them in your project, okay? And it provides a vast ecosystem for reusable packages. So it creates a platform where people can upload libraries, packages for us to also download them. All right, now let's move on to the installation, okay? So we have the global installation and we have the local installation. Let's start with local installation. So with local installation, you install the packages and they are available only on your current project, okay? So these packages are also saved in the node model folder, which we're gonna look at it when it gets to the implementation, okay? And it also has it as a dependency in the package.json. So once you install a library, it download the codes and then save it in the node model folder, and also saves the name and then the version in your dependencies that is inside your package.json dependencies, okay? And if you want to install a library locally, this is how you go by it. You just type in npm spacebar install spacebar the package name and then hyphen save, okay? And this is going to install it locally in that particular project, okay? Now let's move on to the global installation. With global installation, once you install it, it's globally available for all projects on your system, okay? So once you install a library globally, when you create a project, you can access that library or that packet inside your project, okay? And it's usually used for CLI tools, okay? And this is how you install it: npm install and then -g, which stands for global, and then the package name, and then once you press enter, it's gonna install it for you, okay? So now let's move on to npx. One may ask, what is npx? It basically stands for node package execute, okay? So the main difference between npm and then npx is, with npx it helps you to run packages without permanently installing them, okay? But with npm you have to install them before you can execute, all right? And it came around 2017, and when you install npm with version 2.5 and above, is already or is automatically installed for you. All right. So let's say you want to run a project, you want to create a React application project, and you type in npx create React create app, which is this one. Okay. Once you type in this and then the name, what it's going to do is it's going to create the package without installing them locally or globally. Right. So it's just going to execute it without installing them on your machine. And this kind of help, okay, it avoids scattering of your dependencies with unused libraries or unused packages. Okay. Right. So now let's move on to how we can manage our packages and also update them. Okay. So let's start with updating. If you want to update your packages, what you basically do is you just go to your command line in your root directory, you just type in npm update, and this is going to update it for you. If you want to check for outdated packages too, you can just type in npm outdated and you just run it, and you're gonna get a list of all the outdated packages. Okay. And we have another file. I've made mention of package.json, right, which stores or which saves your dependencies name and the versions, right. We also have the package.json, package-log.json. Okay. This one ensures that the exact versions of dependencies are maintained across all your environments or all environments. Okay. So now let's look at how we can run a project. Okay. Let's say you've created a project, how you can use npm to run that particular project, which is your Node.js project. All right. So when it comes to running your Node.js project, you just go into your package.json file, and inside it you have a JSON object there. You just look for script. Okay. Inside the script you have a JSON, right, an object, and inside it we have stats. And once you tap into the stats, this is what is going to run, right? If you tap into text, this is what is going to run. So now if you want to run your project, what you can do is use the npm run, and then you just give the name which one you want to use. Okay. So we want to just start our project, or you just want to run our index.js file. What you do is you just come here and then type npm run start, and this is going to come inside your package.json file, right? So come inside your package.json file, look for scripts, and then inside script you will look for start, and whatever code is here, it's going to execute it for you, right? So this is how you can also run your script with npm. All right. So now it's time for implementation. Let's just move on and then just create something, and then I'm going to use that to explain things to you. All right, so let's start with the implementation. I have an empty folder here, which is backend. Okay. So I'm just going to type here cmd, and then press enter. Okay. So this is going to open our command prompt window for us. And here we can set up our project by typing in npm spacebar init, which means initialize. Okay. And once you press enter, there are a couple of questions that are gonna come. Okay. Then you just press enter to skip all of them. But if you just don't want to go into that, you don't want to go through that process, you can just type in -y that specify yes for all of them. Okay. So here, as you can see, we have a JSON object here. Okay, we have the name, version, description, main, script, and then keywords, author, and then license, right? So simultaneously we could see we have package.json here, right? And what you can do now is just type in code spacebar dot to open it in our code editor for us, which I'm using VS Code. Okay. All right, so our VS Code is open, and as you can see, we have our package.json file here. So that is the first file that will be created, right? So we can just open it, and as you can see, I made mention of package.json, right? And this is the package.json. We have the name of the project, we have the version, a description. So here you can just give a description. Let's say our first project. Okay, and then you just save it. So that will be your description. Okay, you have the .main, so it means which file are you going to run. I mean, we are using index.js, right? And then we have the script here, we have keywords, we have author, we have the license. Okay, So the next thing is we can actually create or install some libraries. Okay, so I would like to install a library called Express. Okay, we're gonna talk about Express later, but just for now, just type in npm spacebar install. Okay, install, and then the package name, which is Express. All right, so this is what I would like to install, and there's another shortcut. Okay, instead of typing in the install in full, you can just type in I and you press enter. That is also going to install it for you. Okay, yeah, so you can just choose one of them, and eyes on our voice. Okay, backend, right? So here currently we have only one file here. Quickly we could see we now have node models as well, right? Let me try and zoom this thing so that we can control P, zoom in, right? Good. Yeah, so as you can see here, we have node models. Now we have package -log.json as well. Okay, yeah, and then we have our node models. So inside here it comes along with a couple of folders as well. Yeah, so we have the Express here. Okay, so basically this contains the actual codes, okay, that we've downloaded or we've pulled from the registry, which is the npm registry. Okay, so this contains the actual codes. Okay, and then inside your package.json, now we can see we have another key and value here, right? We have our dependencies, and inside it we have Express. So currently we have version 4.21.0. Okay, so that is the current Express version we are using. Okay, so right now if I'm to delete this node model, okay, which I'm going to try for a second, if I'm to delete it and then run npm install, just that is going to install the node models again by looking at the dependencies here, picking each of them and installing them with their version, right? So that is a cool way, or that is one of the advantages, or one of the benefits Node.js comes along. So I'm just quickly going to delete this node model. All right, as you can see, it's deleted, right? Now let's go back to our root directory, and then now let's type npm I. This time around we are not specifying the package name or the library name, right? We are just typing in npm -I, which means install. So what npm is going to do is it's just going to look into your package.json, take all the dependencies and install all of them based on their version. So as you can see, our node model is back, right? That's a great thing. Now I would like to create what do you call it, index.json, right? Great. And then here I'm just going to let's say okay, let me import Express. Don't bother yourself with this. Okay, we're gonna come back to this later on. So this is just a basic server I've set up, less than the actual lines of code is less than 11, right? So I'm going to save this, and what I'm going to do is run the script, and I'm going to use npm, of course, to run it. So I'm just going to now open my terminal. I just pull it down, right? You can also go to the top here, click on terminal, and then new terminal. Okay, this is also going to set it up for you. All right, so now in my terminal I'm just going to type in npm run start. Okay, and let's see what will happen. Okay, so as you can see, we have an error message here. Let me try and zoom in again. So zoom in, Control P. So zoom in, right? So as you can see here, we have some information displaying here. It says missing script start. Okay, so what npm did was it just went inside our package.json, and then it just came here and then looked for the key start. Okay, and it couldn't find it. It's only text that is here. So what we're gonna do is we can add the script here manually by typing in start. Then here what we can do is node index.js, okay, and then we save it. So now when we run it again, we are expecting it to execute or run the script, okay, by calling the start. So let's go back to our terminal, and then now let's type in npm run start again, okay, and then now let's run it and see. All right, so as you can see, we have some information here. So it started running it, and then it says this is the actual code that was executed, right, which is node-index.js, okay. And then as you can see, the information is server is up and running. So now we can just go to our web browser, and then here I'm going to type in localhost for 3000 and let's press enter. And as you can see, we have our hello world here showing right here. So it means we've been able to set up our server, okay. And we use Node.js, we use NPM to do that by running or executing the script here, okay. Yeah, so I think I've covered everything here. Yeah, so basically that is what NPM is about. It's about uploading and installing, right? So you upload there, and also help you to install it in your project, helps you to manage your project, run your project. So let's say in future, let's come back here, okay. In future, if you upload this to your GitHub and a different developer clones it, what he or she has to do is just in the command terminal, just type in npm install, and it's going to look at the dependencies and install everything for you, okay. So I think that is it for this video. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, kindly click on the subscribe button, like this video, and watch out for the next video on this series. See you next. Happy coding.